Aparna also came. Very good. Silence everybody. Don't write anything in the chat box. Take your notebook and you can write, and afterwards you can give the marks. Write 1 to 12 in your notebook. Try to write 1 to 12 in your notebook. Okay, save. Right, floating. Meeting controls. Yeah, get ready.
I'm going to give you the instructions for this test. I'll introduce each part of the test and give you time to read the questions. This test has 3 parts. In each part, you'll hear a number of different extracts. At the start of each extract, you'll hear this sound. You'll hear each extract once only. Remember, while you're listening, write your answers on the question paper. At the end of the test, you'll have 5 minutes to transfer your answers onto the separate answer sheet. Part A. In this part of the test, you'll hear 2 different extracts. In each extract, a health professional is talking to a patient. For questions 1 to 24, complete the notes with information you hear. Now turn over and look at the notes for extract 1. Extract 1, questions 1 to 12. For questions 1 to 12, complete the notes with a word or short phrase.
So, Anita, what has brought you to counselling?
So, I've been in a relationship with somebody for about 6 months.
Okay.
I wanted us to move forward with our relationship and, get married. And he's not on the same page as me. That's causing a lot of tension. And then in addition to that, my mother's very unwell. So I have a lot of things to deal with at home with her as well. And then my boss is putting a lot of pressure on me to deliver everything on time. And so I'm just having some trouble juggling everything at the moment.
Yeah. And I can see that all of these combined are making you feel quite overwhelmed.
Oh, very. And it's just really, there are some times when I just come home and I have to deal with my mother and I have to deal with my relationship, and then I have to go to work the next day and I'm having trouble with that, and it just makes me really upset.
Okay, yeah. And I'm wondering, Anita, how long have you been dealing with all of these issues?
It's probably ramped up in the last 3 months, but I've been in my relationship for 6 months. My mum's been sick for the last 3-4 months, so it's not that new, but it's now starting to get worse. So
yeah. So how have you been coping so far with all of these pressures?
Not very well, but yeah, I just take it day by day, and communication's a bit of a difficult one. Like I said, this is my first time doing counselling, and don't really have anyone else I can turn to. So it's very hard.
Yeah. I do understand that it is very hard to seek support in such personal issues, but that's what we're here for, and that's what we're hoping that we can do with this session as well. So given that this session's very different to the other ones, I just wanted to know, you told me that you are experiencing some concerns with your partner because you want to move forward and he's not in the same faces you, and your mother's quite sick, and you're looking after her as well, so that's an area of concern for you. And then you have some pressures with work. So I'm just wondering if we could prioritise any of those concerns. What would the biggest concern be?
Well, probably dealing with my mother and my relationship are probably quite equal, because my mother's also putting a lot of pressure on me to get married. Obviously she's not well, so you know, she wants to see her family happy. Dealing with that situation is probably the number one thing for me at the moment, and the work thing I can deal with because I try not to bring work home, but obviously that's a bit hard too.
So when you say dealing with that concern, do you mean working the relationship with your mother or the relationship with your partner?
Probably with my partner first, because I feel like I'm putting a lot of pressure on him because of what's happening with my mother.
Okay. So what we can do is, if it's okay with you, focus on that area first, and we will look at all the areas that are overwhelming you, but we can start by working on that issue first, if that's okay. Excellent. So we only have a couple more minutes before the session ends, and I was wondering if you had any other questions before we go and sign the contract.
No, just maybe in terms of the number of counselling sessions I'll need. I know you said that the first 6 are free, but obviously money is a bit of a factor as well. So what happens if I have to go over the 6 sessions?
And I do apologise, I said when we'll go and sign the contract, but you already signed it. But so if you go over the 6 sessions, it will be $70 after for each session. And you can, like I said, you can continue as long as you need to. So it's really difficult to find a time for every single person and have a set time. So we like to see how it goes, and together we can work out what the best time frame is for yourself. Okay, excellent. So if you don't have any other questions, we can book another time in next week for you.
Definitely. Thanks. Do I speak to reception about that?
Well, I'll come out with you and we can sort that out.
Great, thank you.
Okay, it was lovely meeting you, and thank you so much for opening up and having that chat with me. And we'll focus on the first topic of you and your partner.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
thanks very much.
Thank you.
Now look at the notes for Extract 2. Extract 2, questions 13 to 24. You hear an optometrist talking to a patient called Marshall.
This is the answer key. Check your answers. Check your answers. Okay. So now let us see this. Let me pause.